And there we go. I'm gonna head to the Institute. Job, little buddy.
The dark water cistern. We could imagine there are many pools like this deeper into the underworks.
Tarza mercantile markings on this crate. Sev's from Tarza. Some kind of liquid flow control valves. Complicated. recipe for a sealant. Waterproof joints for piping and such, it looks like.
Okay, I can do this. I need to find what I'm looking for. Get out.
The Ramenos Canal. Named, of course, for Arden's right-hand woman, Diane Ramenos.
The seal on this paperwork looks exactly like the water wheel symbol Seb and the Eye both wear. Definitely the right place.
This must be the condensing chamber.
I have what I came for. Retreat.
So, Norians.
I've been digging. The Tarzan trading company that shipped the crates you found was the lead I needed. The Norians were experts in water storage and conveyance, and active before the surge, but disappeared shortly thereafter. Or rather, they wanted to disappear and subsumed their identities into a series of careful fronts, cover names, and the like. Thankfully, the trade record you found led to a whole web of associations, many of whom have had dealings with my family.
What did you find out about the Norians before the surge?
They seemed a somewhat innocuous guild of specialists, traded under different names even then, making them a bit hard to track. But as far as I could tell, they mostly dealt in water.
Dealt, meaning what in this context?
Aqueducts, reservoirs, wells, you name it. If it stored, gathered, extracted, or moved water, they were involved.
That explains the complicated valve I found underground.
Absolutely. They had specialized knowledge, which I assume is why the Enclave contracted them. Gas, such as raw magic, is a fluid after all.
How is the Norian Order related to Tarza?
As I'm sure you know, Tarza is an amalgam of numerous desert kingdoms. Before the surge, Tarza had grown reliant on the same weather control enchantments that were used in Judea. After the surge, both nations suffered greatly. Tarza, in particular, was struck with savage droughts.
Meaning folks, like the Norians, who specialize in water, had essential skills and knowledge.
I expect they were critical in keeping Tarza's many cities alive at all, a position that would afford them considerable influence.
Do you have any idea why they decided?
Purely conjecture, but let's look at the evidence. We know from Sev's ring that the Norians are still around today.
It could be a trinket, or hand-me-down. But you're right that his behavior with the Eye suggests they're associated.
Exactly. Now consider the Order's secretive nature combined. I would speculate that the Norians used the surge as leverage to become a power. Take a nation that used magic to keep the water flowing, face it with disaster and drought.
Like drought?
What kind of deals might a group of desperate rulers be willing to make, do you think?
But monarchs wouldn't want anything that undercuts their authority or power to slip out to the populace.
As I said, pure conjecture, but if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck...
How did you get logs of your own family's accounts, anyway?
I stole them.
Really?
Oh yes, detailed transactions from private ledgers. No one quite sure if you made copies or where they're hidden if you did. Better than bodyguards when it comes to ensuring one's safety. I did not leave my family under the best auspicious.
Knowing what we know now, what do we do about Sev?
I believe we can say for sure that he and the Eye are somehow related through this Norian organization. From Sev's visits to the hold, I imagine they're working together on something, but I'm not sure.
I gave Sev some help collecting materials. He's definitely working on some kind of project. He asked me to trust him. Maybe it's time to ask for that favor in return.
A good idea. Speak to Sola first, though. I've updated her, and she might have...
Thanks for your help.
It's no trouble at all. This is what I do, and I rather enjoy it.
Rather enjoy it.
Sev. What are we going to do with you?
You know him better than me.
I hope so. But it's pretty obvious Sev is being pressured by the Eye due to their Norian connection. And I do not trust him. Anyway, what did you learn from helping Sev?
He's either constructing or repairing something that requires exotic materials.
As I said, it reminded me of how he fixed the gate in the Hollow. I would wager the Eye heard about our exploits.
Could be.
He's a clever one, our Ram. There's really only one thing for it.
Direct confrontation.
We're going to let him know we care. Then we're going to let him sit with it. Wait for me in the hold. We'll talk to him there.
Got it. We need to get this done with. We need to confront the problems that we're facing.
Hello, Sebastian.
Sola. Rin. Hello?
Hey. Listen, we just have something to say. Shh. You're good. Just listen for a second, okay? We know the Eye has you working on some project. We know you two have some kind of connection, and we want you to know...
Did you know
it's okay.
Sola's right, big guy. And if you need help,
Need
or if
help,
something's
or
happening you're not
something's
comfortable
happening
with,
here
you tell us.
You
okay?
tell us. Okay?
We came in here as a team, and nothing's going to change that.
Exactly. Anytime you need to talk, apprentice of mine, you know where we are. And we'll listen. You'll know when it's time. We'll see you at camp, okay?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, back to base.
What's going on?
Arik, why don't you fill her in?
Our plan worked. The Eye is mobilizing the scouts for a large-scale attack on the Surgeborn.
I take it the Axle and the Spindle put him up to this?
Yes. Not that Khan Stanild is admitting that. He claims that with the supply shortage taken care of and the Ark restoration underway, now is the time to strike.
Now is the time to
And
strike.
Rin is receiving due credit for all her work, I'm sure.
No.
Nope.
So what's his plan?
The scouts will stage a distraction in the underworks, while the Eye and the Spindle do something to the Grand Gate. That's all I know. The Eye wants everyone to convene at Cassidon's Hold for a speech to learn more.
He wants us there.
Khan Stanild loves an audience. Doesn't matter who's
Doesn't matter who's
I
in
thought
it.
you'd be happier about all this.
I have reservations about the Eye launching a plan using my scouts without consulting me.
The reality is, The leader of the Enclave has the power and influence we need to take a stand against the Surgeborn, regardless of how likable the man holding the title may be.
Power and influence, sure. But not the expertise.
Not expertise.
We faced down Surgeborn and monsters, repaired lost innovations, and even won over the grumpiest of guild leaders. We're ready for anything, no matter what happens.
It can't hurt to hear his big speech before jumping to conclusions.
I'm here to escort you. Talk to me when you're ready.
Ever since we learned of the verdant mines, I haven't been able to stop thinking about them. They were clearly well-resourced in regards to both labor power and knowledge. And they had an extremely intimate knowledge of the Enclave's technology. But do you know who was around to see their rise and fall, but hasn't spoken a word about it?
Cassidon's Hold's biggest ass?
The very same. I just think it's interesting how he's kept quiet about it. Don't you?
I don't expect much from him.
I don't know if he was involved with the events surrounding the Verdant Mine's attempt to take down the Veil, but he certainly bore witness.
So what are you thinking?
I'd like to send you out on a fact-finding mission for now. Meanwhile, I'll pour over...
Gotcha. I'll be back when I found everything you're after.
Thanks, Bryn. I'll get to work here.
For now, I want to create or
Ready
finish
to
the
head to
main
Cassidon's Hold?
story.
As ready as I'll ever be.
Great. I'll be deploying to the Underworks almost immediately after we arrive. Watch Khan Stanold for me, will you? I know Oriel wants you to give him a chance.
I'm always ready for anything, Eric.
I know. Let's move.
As in, this may be pushing towards endgame, finally. I love this game. Absolutely love it, but...
Decades of caution have been rewarded, friends. For this moment, and not one sooner, is the precise time to strike. Today, we wrangle our lands free from the Surgeborn's grasp and reclaim our hearth once more. None of this could be possible without the esteemed prowess of the Spindle. Her work on the Arks has laid the foundation for my plan. She and I will proceed to the Grand Gate at once. Scouts, you have your orders. It's time. Whatever it takes.
Bryn, you need to come with me.
Now?
Yeah, no time to explain. And Aurea, you should get on the scry.
All right. Whatever you need.
Whatever you need.
Let's go. Sev, I know you said there's no time to explain, but want to give me a clue as to where we're going?
So, obviously I've been working with the Eye. And well, he had me repair the Grand Gate. It's connected to this place called the Source, and I guess that's where the Surgeborn came from. He's got this plan to go there and solve this problem once and for all.
Right. I heard that part of his speech already. What does this have to do with us sprinting like an Ash Peak Drake is on our heels?
So there's, it's better if I just show you.
What is he planning?
Perfect. As punctual as you are daring.
Sev, what's going on?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, don't blame him. He's merely a puppet. Ironic, given I'm the one
tangled up.
So you can
Can
talk?
talk.
Of course. Only language could allow me to prey upon Kenrick's exquisite inadequacies.
You've been talking to the Eye? Manipulating
him.
Into a foolhardy and preposterous plan that only an absolute imbecile could think was worth pursuing, yes. I've been down here for years, laying ground all towards a moment when I could convince Kenrick to act. I almost despaired he ever would. And then, along comes you.
Me?
Oh yes. Kenrick is threatened by you.
By you?
Terrified.
Terrifiedly.
In your brief time inside the Veil, you've accomplished so much more than he has in decades. Not that that's saying much. Still, you are the perfect. We have that in common, as you will discover in time. So now, he's going to open a gate to the heart of the Enclave. Convinced. And the one person I worry might be able to stop us is here, talking to me. You're fast, but even you can't run to the rescue now.
You've thought of everything.
Because you're too late to stop us. And even if you...
Sure. Unless they were listening.
Quit taunting it, Bryn. You've got work to do.
Hi. You lose, Surge Board. We planned this.
Tyler, we must retreat.
No! I'm staying to fix this.
Let's fight.
Do whatever you can to buy me time.
Got it. Hey, great Surgeborn. Let's have some fun.
Bryn is seriously about to fight that thing.
The spindle told her to buy time.
Let's hope it doesn't take too long.
has to have a weak point I can hit.
For much longer.
Almost there.
Is the spindle okay?
She can't be. No.
What? What's she doing to me?
I know what she's doing. Yep. Arc versus Surgeborn combat.
Whatever it takes.
Isla sacrificed herself.
Spirits. Okay. Weavers have always dealt with problems like this. Well, not just like this, but yeah. We'll figure it out.
Figure it out.
Aurea. She'll know what to do.
Hey.
Hey.
How do you feel?
Okay now. But it was touch and go for a while. Lane will probably never forgive me. For that matter, I might not either.
I knew that fight. The spindle, giving her life like that. It'd be on your mind all night. How could it not?
How could it not?
And I've been mulling over what to tell you this morning. You're like me. It'd ring false. So I'm going to tell you what I'd need to hear after something like that. You did good.
Did good.
It was an awful situation. But you stood up.
You stood
and
up
did what
and
needed
did
to
what
be
needed
done
to be
without
done
hesitating.
without hesitating.
Not many people
Not
have
many
that
have
kind
the
of grit.
kind of grit.
I can't shake the feeling that if I had done something more, the spindle would still be with us.
She made her choices same as you.
As you do.
She was a weaver.
She was a weaver, and we do
whatever
whatever
it
it takes.
I know
I
you, Bryn.
know you, Bryn.
You're made of stern
You're made
stuff.
of stern stuff.
You've the mountains
You're the
in your
mountains.
bones. Any sense of doubt or being shaken?
Shaken?
It's just
It's
snowfall.
just snowfall.
Temporary.
Temporary.
Slide off soon.
Slide off soon.
That was the part you practiced, right?
Yes.
Yes.
But that doesn't make it less true.
Less true.
Okay. Okay. Thoughts on what we do next?
We need to get everyone together. Our band.
Our band.
Arkham 2.
Arkham 2.
And I want you to
are
call the
called
meeting.
to call the
Me?
meeting.
Yes. You.
You.
I know everyone's up in their heads right now, but we have real problems to
Real
solve.
problems to solve.
So let's clear the air.
So let's clear the
Are
air.
you running this discussion then?
She is.
Sev, this has to start
This
with
has
you.
to start with
we
you.
knew you were working with the Eye.
Aye.
We told you we'd have your
told
back.
you we'd have your back.
Help us understand
Help
what
us
happened.
understand what happened.
Just breathe, Sev.
Breathe, Sev.
Start from the beginning.
From the beginning.
I'm sure Bryn and Sola told you all. But I belong to an order called the Norians. They're sometimes called the Watersmiths. Imagine my surprise to learn our talents had been critical to the construction of the tapestry. Our order binds us to always help another Norian. Especially a high-ranking one like Stanild. And to keep their secrets.
So that's how he sunk his claws into you.
Did you leave the Norians to become Sola's apprentice?
One never really leaves the Norians.
It's
not with their life. If word got out about me betraying Stanild, I'd be a dead Ram walking. But no. My people have a ritual known as Ram Bralem. It is a time to pursue another path. And
It's true. I knew it could be temporary, but was hoping you'd stay on after.
Why is the Order so secretive?
we've always been critical to the survival of Taza. Water is life in the desert, and we control the flow of water. The Elders have a secret political chokehold on the kingdoms. The altruistic Norians will tell you the secrecy is so no one can undo our work. But I have my doubts. And so, the Order operates in the shadows.
What did Stanild have you doing?
It was all work on repairing the Grand Gate. He'd heard about our success with the gate in the Hollow and felt I might be able to replicate it. Thanks to your help, I was able to do so. And he took me more into his confidence as a result.
The most important thing is whether we can trust you.
Yes, Sev. Convince us.
I swear, nothing I did was intended to cause harm. Too many of my order are political animals. But there is real good to be found among the Norians. Craftspeople who just wish to perfect their art. To bring water to people in need. To experiment. But need
the resources to do so.
Unfortunately, too many of those resources are controlled by people like Stanild. They're all the same. They see a point of control. Water, information, wealth. And they abuse it. I thought the secrets were a necessary evil for some great purpose, but seeing his chokehold on the Enclave. You all have every right to distrust me.
If you can't be a Norian, then what are you?
If you'd have me,
I'd
like to stay.
Those of us who have been here longer than Sev. Thoughts?
He's a great apprentice. And did what was right in the end.
Still wasn't quick enough.
We need him. He's been exposed to Kenric Stanhold's plans, and that knowledge may be critical.
We've all had a very tough time since we came through the Veil. I would have grabbed for some kind of normalcy or order, too.
You are all heard. And I would add that you joined us under false pretenses, Sev.
I have a hard time accepting that he kept so much from us, but shared so much with the Eye. Who knows what Stanild, or gods help us, the Talon heard about us. Only time will tell how much damage that's done.
Lane, I hear you and I understand. Sev has real work to do to rebuild trust. Only you can decide when the apology feels real to you. Sev, that considered, you have worked tirelessly since joining us, and demonstrated an enterprising spirit and deftness as a smith. And before the blade could completely fall, you risked all by blocking it with your own hand. You can never be a Norian again. I do not sense that you wish to be. And who are the Weavers?
Who are the Weavers? A group of outcasts and misfits.
Just trying to muddle through together. You will stay. And you will help.
You will help.
We have work to do.
We have work to do.
Tell us about
Stanild's plan.
Thank you, Horia.
I'm sure we all have things we want to say. To Sev and each other. But that can wait. Right now, while we're all here together, we need to focus on next steps. But here's our challenge. That Talon. It spoke. It knew things it couldn't know about us. We're on the back foot and need to catch up fast.
Then let me, as Horia said, help.
Help.
After I repaired the gate, Stanild took me completely into his confidence. He'd been questioning and learning from the Talon, or so he thought.
Not realizing he was being manipulated.
He was increasingly estranged from his daughter. I'd wager he was desperate for a friend.
I'd agree. Based on what he'd learned from the Surgeborn from his friend, he put together a plan.
Use my people as a distraction to pull the bulk of the Surgeborn out of the Underworks. All while he used the gate to... What?
There is a place, deep, deep underground, known as the Source. A feat of engineering unparalleled. It's the secret to the Enclave's power. The abundance of magic. The heart of the tapestry. The thing powering the Veil. There was only a single loom gate still connected to the Source after Asylum cleared all connections. And I'm the one who repaired it.
A Grand Gate would take him right to the heart of things then.
Exactly.
Stanild thought he could... what? Sneak down there and fix things somehow? Tear down the Veil?
His hope was to go down and secure a working space. Sealed off from the distracted Surgeborn. He wanted to eventually fix things with the help of the Spindle. All glory to his family.
That arrogant idiot.
He'd read in his personal archives there was a system designed to shut down the Source. In the hopes of discovering how it worked, he had been feeding information to the Spindle about it in drips.
Meaning she might have been working on a fix for the Source without knowing it.
Then we have to pursue her research, clearly.
Good. But we still have the problem Stanild never saw coming. A great Surgeborn.
Which almost certainly will be unkillable if it operates like every other Surgeborn. It's hard to imagine any place more full of tangles than the literal source of the magic that's overflowing.
On that, I have an idea. If I'm right, we might be able to turn the tables and remove its advantage. I'll need Bryn's help if that's all right with everyone.
Right.
Of course. If it gives us a chance, we have to take it.
I agree.
Has anyone just thought to ask the Talon?
What would we ask it? Favorite color? Favorite way to disembowel Ashar?
No, she's right. It has clearly demonstrated an interest in Bryn. Maybe she could pry some information out of it.
I'm not sure I'll get much. But I'm also sure I'm not going to think it's my friend. So, worth exploring?
Then we have a path forward. Sev will pursue his thoughts on dealing with that beast.
My people have started calling it the Herald.
Of destruction? Doom?
Why not both? As I said, people are on edge.
Fine. Sev pursues weakening this herald. We work with the Axle to look into the Spindle's latest research. And if she feels like it, Bryn has
as good a path forward as we are going to find.
Now things get interesting.
Bryn, I examined the wreckage of the Grand...
Found something useful?
A kinetic strand, in fact. The Ark must have torn it from the Herald's pattern in the chaos of the battle.
Think we could weave it into my mantle?
I don't see why not. Its pattern appears to be quite similar to those found on wild creatures and Archons.
All right. We need every advantage.
Then let's get to work. And we're finished. This will be quite...
How so?
This strand can twist kinetic magic into a tunnel. In battle, you could push debris or enemies through it and send them flying through the air quite forcefully.
Could I jump through it?
I suppose you could.
Hey, there's a lot of tall buildings, flying creatures. This is going to be great.
You're right. Just
try to be careful. So now I have a little leeway to launch myself through the air to attack them.
I appreciated your candor in the meetings.
It was terrifying. Wasn't sure I'd be allowed to stay. You didn't get to voice an opinion with the others. Are we?
All circumstances aside, you saved the day.
Saved the day.
Solar and I said we had your back, and it paid off.
And it paid off.
Quick thinking having the scry open.
I knew something was wrong the moment that thing started talking to me when Stanild wasn't around. It was very focused on you.
Me?
So much so that it said the only way the plan would succeed was if you talked to it. It reeked of trap. I didn't survive a decade around Tarzan Norians without picking up when someone's holding a knife behind their smile.
But you still took me down there.
Sorry. An educated risk. I felt there was nothing it could do and wanted the whole band to hear it talk.
And Stanild wouldn't use one, of course.
The Talon was his deepest secret.
Can you tell me more about Stanild's plans for once he went through the Grand Gate?
He was counting on Isla. She was exceptional at protective fields. But even then, no. I don't think he had a real plan. The Talon had convinced him he'd be able to survive, and fool that he was, he trusted it. We can't afford that mistake. But I have a theory. You know how the weather sometimes skews wildly hot and cold?
Right. The aeroliths.
What else do we see on similar cycles?
Miasma.
Exactly. So, it follows...
You think the aeroliths are able to affect raw magic somehow?
I do. And in Stanild's private records and designs, I found notes specifically on aeroliths with Norian commentary.
You think the Norians were involved in their creation?
It would certainly explain why Tarza had such access to aeroliths before the certain, if I'm right. This might be the key to making the source survivable.
Fewer tangles means less dead me.
You'll need to head to the Watersmith area of the Institute, and I'll guide you from there.
Understood. So now the main boss of the game has reared its head.
You are hardly in any position to make lofty demands. The Council convened and unanimously stripped you of your role. You no longer hold the privileges of the Eye.
And how quickly did you convene that council? You hardly waited for my daughter's body to cool.
She is dead because of you. Because of your reckless behavior and deception, no less.
Hirun, how dare you? Every decision I've made, every action I've taken has been for her protection.
Abandoning her at the Grand Gate was for her protection. And that is Khan Arteme to you, Kenric.
Is this a bad time?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
No. You're more than welcome at Cassidon's Hold. We wouldn't be here if it weren't for you.
I came to offer my condolences. To both of you.
Both of you.
Oh. Thank you.
She was nothing short of brilliant. Everyone in our Weaver band could see it. She dedicated her life to reclaiming lost knowledge of the Arks. The world is better for it.
She was... exceptional.
Then why are you so opposed to giving her the funeral she deserves?
With the Surgeborn swarming Denevron, we can't risk a trip to the Hallowpire Rise.
For generations, every Stanild has received the rite of ashes upon death. Isla will not be the exception to this.
Could I perform the rite on your behalf?
You? Don't tell me you're a Hallowpire priestess on top of being a righteous pain in my ass.
Skies, do you want a funeral or not? She's our best option.
Isla saved my life. I want to help you honor her death.
I suppose you do owe her that. Fine. For the rite of ashes, you need to burn an object that was sacred to the deceased upon the High Pyre. As you collect the ashes, you must read a rite aloud to thank the flames for bringing the deceased to rest.
Do you have an object that was sacred to Isla?
Isla's most prized possessions aren't in Cassidon's Hold. She had a secret refuge in Dredger's Mire. You're sure to find something. She was always sneaking away at night to work there.
You knew she was sneaking out of Cassidon's Hold.
I knew my daughter better than she realized. Return to me with the ashes.
Thank you, Bryn.
You certainly wear emergency powers of authority comfortably.
That might be Isla's secret refuge. It's actually not as much. Isla dedicated her life to restoring the Arks. Dom's right. We will need to continue the research. But for now, what might she consider sacred for the Rite? A letter from the Axel. I should take it back to her. A toy Archon. That's sweet. Dom, do you think this could work for the Rite of Ashes?
It's perfect.
Huh. Isla also had a copy of On the Workings of Archons, marked with annotations, just like Lucia's.
Could be useful.
Wait, I'm losing you.
You hear me better now?
Yeah. Weird. The scry was cutting out.
Strange. At any rate, the book could be useful. Once you've completed the ritual, I'll take a look.
Now we go to Upper Denevrin and complete the ritual to honor the spindle. This is not for that idiot Constanald. He caused the poor girl's death.
I'll need to place the toy ark on the high pyre. Sad to burn such a sweet toy. Now to collect the ashes. Though the flame abates and the ash grows cold, let she who worshipped you rest in eternal warmth.
Beautiful, Bryn.
I'm sure I will.
There it is again. The scry is...
Return to Cassandra's hold and bring him the ashes. Show him that we honored Isla. Not for his sake, I mean.
I performed the rite, and I brought you the ashes.
Thank you, Bryn. Isla admired you. She would be honored that you did this for her.
It's not how she would have wanted things. I should have been there.
Enough! I know you're grieving. We all are. But you are no longer the Eye. And this disrespectful conduct ends now. You owe Bryn a thank you. And an apology for that matter. And probably a great deal more than that. Not only has she gone out of her way to perform the rite for your daughter, but she saved us all from certain death at the Grand Gate. None of which she would ever have had to do if it weren't for your...
For my actions! I know! I know! It's all my fault. I should have been there. Not at the temple. At the Grand Gate. I should have stayed. The way she looked at me when I left her there. Never forget it. I could fill a city with my mistakes. I should have supported her work. I should never have lied to her. My regrets will drown me.
Maybe they should.
Maybe they should.
My mother used to say, you can drown in your grief. Or learn to swim in it. It is unfair that you lost a child. No matter the circumstances. I am so sorry that happened to you. But now you have a choice. You can spend the rest of your days counting the ways you failed your daughter. Or you can dedicate every breath you have left to her.
How?
Just do one small thing a day that would make her proud to call you her father. Start by helping us finish the work you wish you had supported in her life.
It's too late for that, I'm afraid. But there is one thing. It's called the Ark of Verdance. An enchantress named Lucia de Crassus built it.
Lucia.
Consider it a thank you.
Thank you
for what you've done.
You deserved better from him. But that was probably all he's capable of. Come to think of it. We all deserved better from him.
What will you do now?
Take care of my people. Someone needs to. And you? You're going to try to fix the arcs.
Isla saw something in the arcs no one else did. The Enclave's legacy.
Enclave's legacy.
Innovation
and ambition.
We can't let her death be in vain.
Death be in vain.
Her work must be finished.
I wish I could help, but arcs were Isla's expertise, not mine. Still, I agree. That arc allowed you to pass safely through the tangles, where Surgeborn go to regenerate. If you're going to try to fix it, consider me heavily invested in your progress.
It's too great an advantage to ignore. I'll keep you updated.
My light. I remember the day you were born, vividly. When I held you, my heart was so full it threatened to break. And I know your mother felt the same way. For all her flaws, she would be so proud of you. I am so proud of you.
You're going to speak to the Talon?
I don't expect to get much out of it, but yes.
Be careful. Clearly the Talon was able to manipulate Kenrick, and while I know you're not the idiot he is, speaking to that thing is risky.
I just have to find out what I can. If the Talon has any insight that can help us.
It's a risk worth taking, I know. Just don't reveal anything in the process.
I won't.
I knew you'd be back. Dreadfully predictable.
And here I thought I surprised you. Or was your herald getting kicked back to the source part of the plan?
Don't steal credit. Your great icon pushed us back, not you. And I'm quite certain it didn't survive the battle. Judging by the way you charged straight to the Grand Gate upon hearing my plan, let me guess. You're going to try for a rematch.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Let's not lie to each other.
I like you.
Can't say the feeling's mutual.
Come now, I want to be confidants. Friends, even.
Fine. Let's be friends. Why don't you tell me what the Surgeborn are after so I can help?
I told you. But because my offer of friendship, I'm after the same thing you're after. Magic. And the power that comes with it.
But Surgeborn already wield magic.
Not nearly
enough of it.
You know the lust for magical power is
insatiable.
Why else are you risking everything to tear strands of it from
behemoths?
I'm not power hungry.
Don't lie.
How did you end up down here anyway?
I let myself be captured.
Captured?
Why?
It became apparent that I wasn't going to uncover the secrets behind the Enclave's power by raising its capital to the ground. Oh, I do miss the raising. Still, I needed intel that I could only get from the inside. So I allowed myself to be captured. Kenrick had influence and insecurities, making him the perfect target. It helped that he assumed our herald couldn't pass through the Grand Gate when he staged his attack.
How did it get through? The resonance...
You didn't have a sample of that particular search form.
In my
I played the part of his distressed prisoner.
Please don't hurt me. I'll do anything you ask. I'll tell you anything you want to know.
Let me live. He was all too willing to believe I was helpless.
The Hearthsiders believe you were born out of the Surge. Is that really where you come from?
I will keep some secrets to myself. For now.
I thought we were friends.
Not yet.
Kenrick Stanold is in rough shape after being your confidant.
I would never treat you like I treated him. You're different.
Oh, different.
Special. Trust me.
Me. In time you'll consider us kindred spirits.
Doubt it.
See you soon.
Soon. We should just kill that thing. It being alive is too risky.
Dom, the interference I'm experiencing during expeditions is concerning. Any idea what's going on with the scry?
Not yet. The interference is certainly strange, but I'll need more time to analyze it before drawing any conclusions.
As long as it doesn't give out on us completely in the meantime.
However, I have taken a look at the Spindle's copy of the workings of Archons, and thankfully, and her notes are significantly less paranoid at that.
About that, Kenrick Stanold told me that Lucia wasn't just tinkering with the Ark we followed through the Veil. She built it. The Ark of Verdance.
That is quite the revelation.
What
was it for?
What was
that
for?
was all Kenrick could tell me. Or wanted
to tell me, but...
Sev mentioned that Kenrick had been feeding Isla information about a failsafe for the Source. Could the Ark of Verdance be the fix she was working on without realizing it?
Yes. Yes! That could be it. Genius, Bryn. On my side, I dug into her notes. She was working on a way to fully restore our Ark for us. She was so close to a schematic, intricate, elaborate, masterful. And I finished it. Solar has the final design ready for you. Essentially, we'll be creating a power core for the Ark. Most notably, we'll need a special part, a bar of shaped coral. This is the final key for an Ark to be functional on its own without a weaver.
If we had built a power core earlier...
She only made this discovery in the final days of her life, through researching all the Ark parts we had supplied her. Her research even theorizes that using one's own magic to power an Ark for brief amounts of time could result in death.
So she knew she was going to die at the Grand Gate?
She knew exactly what would happen, and did it anyway. That's courage.
We can't let it be in vain. So, then the Ark of Verdance is our failsafe. Your design will get it running. Where can I find the shaped coral?
She suspected it was kept in the Archon's hearth, stored near natural coral deposits for its regenerative properties.
The Archon's hearth once more. Wish Isla was here to guide me.
I could assist in her absence.
What the?
Bryn, what's...
Aurea, the scry has been compromised by the Surgeborn. Stay off it.
Compromised is such a strong word. I just want to talk. So, what am I looking for in the Archon's heart? It is my region, after all.
Like I will tell you.
Whatever plan you've concocted, it would be better if we work together.
You murdered my friend.
Technically, I didn't touch her. It isn't my fault she lacked the stamina to follow through on what she started.
strand for your mantle.
I must be getting close to where the enclave's storm-shaped bars. Will the Surgeborn know our plan when I pick it up? I guess that's a risk I want to take.
Whatever you're planning to do with that is nothing compared to what we could accomplish if we...
Shut up, Archon.
The Surgeborn in the Howling Jail somehow has access to the scry.
We know. I can feel it in there with me. It's not pleasant. We need to do something fast.
The good news is, as far as we can tell, it only has access when you're in the underworks. At most, it seems to cause interference when you're above ground. We don't think it can listen in.
Until we can block its presence, best to keep use of the scry to a minimum.
Aurea, I could feel the Surgeborn too. I know exactly what you mean.
Doesn't feel great.
The kind of nausea that only comes from the wind being knocked out of you.
It takes a lot out of me to stay connected to you when it's present, let alone speak.
That must be why there's interference.
What you're both describing, it makes me wonder if the Eye was under a deeper influence from the Surgeborn than we realized.
How so?
We assumed he was merely manipulated into a foolhardy plan, but what if the Surgeborn had some sort of effect on his mind?
I could believe it. But if that's the case, then we need to limit Bryn's exposure to it through the scry. Fast.
And yours.
I don't think it's me the Surgeborn wants to influence. From the sounds of it, it wants you.
Weavers need a physical connection to the scry to communicate, either by wearing the earpiece or touching the scroll. The Surgeborn doesn't have either. So how is it connecting to our scry?
Well, let's start with what we know. The imprisoned Talon was able to convince Stanild to open the gate. But the Herald was there and waiting. It was not surprised at all, despite the Scout's distractions. Ergo, the Herald and Talon were communicating somehow. Yet the Talon had been... Would it not be reasonable to suggest the Surgeborn can communicate with one another using something like our scry? Or worse, perhaps they can share thoughts needing no magic at all.
A single shared consciousness.
The implications are frankly staggering, but it is the only explanation I can think of for what we've observed. And if I'm correct, it's not such a leap to imagine creatures like this, or perhaps a creature, would be capable of infiltrating our scry.
Let's hear it. How bad is all this?
The scry is a complex piece of Weaver enchantment. That this Surgeborn has broken in is not good.
We still don't know exactly what it wants, but if it continues to infiltrate our constructs, this could mean an all-out war.
War?
Imagine they gain control of the Enclave's arcs. Sure, they're dangerous now, but with a sentient strategist behind them, they could storm the Maida in a couple of hundred strides.
You think the Surgeborn's interests expand beyond the Enclave?
With an enemy as calculated as this,
best
to assume the worst.
All right. How are we going to fix this?
The reason Aurea can sense the Surgeborn presence on the scry is likely because it's wielding magic to communicate. The same way Aurea's mantle pulls magic from the air to contact you. However, unlike Aurea, the Surgeborn can't pull magic from the air around it. Otherwise, it would be talking to you all the time.
But it can only reach me when I'm underground.
Where the tangles are most dense. We need to cut off its access to raw magic.
That's where the spindle comes in. Thanks to her, we finally have the missing piece to get our escort here running.
It was a failsafe in the case that the source needed to be repaired. The Arc of Verdance will create a safe bubble against the tangles, which would be the natural consequence of any failure of the source.
Just like it did with the Veil.
Exactly. But without the crushing weight that caused it to fail.
So, the plan. We get the Arc to the source, it stabilizes the Enclave.
Or at the very least, starts the process.
If the Herald waiting down there doesn't destroy it first, I'll need to take it down. If this plan is going to work.
That sounds dangerous.
It might be a risk worth taking.
We have to. The Enclave is overflowing with raw magic, and this source is clear. Too many tangles have led to the floods.
They allow the Surgeborn to communicate and infect without the source under control. We will never reclaim the Enclave.
Then that's our plan. We build a power core, then we speak to the Axle.
I'll join you at Cassidon's Hold.
And with this power core, we can fix our Arc of Verdance. I think this is what they call a full circle moment.
Huh. Lately, I feel like I've been running in circles.
Hey, I know things look bleak, but this is a win.
This is a win.
Don't let the Talon rob you of it. You're finishing her work, after all.
You're right.
I always am. Now, I think you've got a meeting with the Axle.
Yes.
Khan Artime, my Weaver Band has repaired the Ark we followed through the Veil and discovered its true purpose.
To nullify the tangles at the source so it can be repaired.
Its anti-magic properties are why we were able to follow it through the Veil in the first place.
I see.
If we could get it to the source, we believe it could stabilize the Enclave.
Except the Grand Gate was broken when the Ark pushed the Herald back through it.
Surely there must be another way to reach the source.
Now that it's repaired, couldn't this Ark be used to leave the Enclave the way you came?
In theory, sure.
What are you saying, Khan Artime?
It's time for someone to protect my people. I need to use that Ark to get us all out of here.
You would leave with the Surgeborn running loose? Or worse, allow them to...
No one has succeeded in stopping them yet. We've been trapped inside the Enclave for decades. It's time to set ourselves free before the Surgeborn overtake Cassidon's Hold and kill us all.
Is shoving problems under the rug truly the Enclave's legacy?
Agreed. Your people are better than this.
The Surgeborn has infiltrated our scry. It's learning how to use our enchantments against us. If we don't put a stop to this madness, how long until they overtake the Arcs? Or bring down the Veil and spread across the Maida?
That is concerning, still. Let's be clear. Even if you could reach the source, then
I'll be ready for the Herald this time.
And what are you going to do about all the tangles? Punch them before they disintegrate you?
Sev believes the Aeroliths can manipulate raw magic and are responsible for miasma. We think if we can control the Aeroliths, we can make the source safer.
Interesting. You've put more thought into this than I'd expected. But as you've said, you have no way to reach the source.
Fine. Our plan has
more than a few.
How about this? If you can just give us time to present you with the final plan, it'll be your call whether or not we move forward on it.
I suppose that's fair. I can't pack up this stronghold in a day.
One more thing. It's clear by now the Enclave hides its secrets well. If there's any information on the source, I need access to it.
There are private records that can only be accessed with the Eye's signet. I suppose he's not using it at the moment, but...
Bryn did just save your people from certain death not too long ago.
Fine. You can borrow it. You should find information at the Spire in Upper Denevron, the Bastion, and the Institute.
We'll arrange a meeting with you when we're ready.
Good luck.
I think that's where I'll call it for now, people. But it seems like maybe one more live stream and I'll be done.